Hi, welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive insightful answers from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, communications, creativity, entrepreneurship, personal development, prosperity, spirituality, and more. My name is Laura, and this week I'd like to ask the tarot, because I have a keen interest in this myself, and I have done this reading a few times, but I thought I'd like to share it with my viewers. How can you overcome a scarcity consciousness? In other words, how can you improve your financial picture once and for all and long term? This is an issue that probably most people wrestle with, and it came to the forefront in particular the past month with the 35-day government shutdown, where lots of people, we heard many stories on the news of people barely able to cover their basic expenses, get enough food, etc., because their paychecks were cut off. So I thought this was a vital topic to discuss and to ask the tarot. And I will be shuffling this question, how to overcome a scarcity consciousness, or basically how to improve your financial picture forever, long term. I'm going to ask the tarot, doing a 3-card spread. The 3 cards that I will be selecting after shuffling right off the top, the 3 cards the first card will represent what do we need to release from our attitude, our consciousness, because it all comes down to consciousness. 2, the second card in the middle will represent what do we need to embrace? What attitudes, mindsets, etc. do we need to embrace to change this picture, to change our financial picture for good? And finally, the third card will represent actions we can take in the next 60 days to get us going in a more positive direction about our finances. Now I'm shuffling the cards, and as always, I'd like to share with you a couple of resources I have from my library. Now I have a lot of books on consciousness, prosperity consciousness, abundance, etc. One of the books I recommend the most, I don't have with me at this moment, and that book is by, again, my favorite spiritual coach, Carole Dore. I will include, though, a link to her book that you can, well, if you're lucky, you can get it on Amazon. The last time I looked, it was several $100s. I bought it for $29.95 years ago. But that is an especially good book. But 2 other good books are this book, Spiritual Economics, The Prosperity Process by Eric Butterworth. Eric Butterworth was a well-known Unity minister, and this book has lots of gems to read, to basically instill within yourself. One key quotation I especially like is that he says, the secret of achieving prosperity, and he's referring to financial as well as overall material, lies in so vividly keeping yourself centered in the inner focus of affluence that you literally exude the consciousness of it. And this means that you feel this from your very heart. And this can be difficult because I know that I was raised in a family that we had no real financial issues. I was never impoverished. In fact, we had relative abundance. I was able to go to private school, private college, etc. But my mother always has had a consciousness of scarcity and worries about money. Another book that is also helpful is this Abundance book by John Randolph Price. I've had this book for many years, and I was able to see John Randolph Price in person back in 2001 in Columbia, Maryland. And one quotation I especially like from this is, your outer world of form and experience is a reflection of your inner world of thoughts and feelings. And it's especially feelings that Carole Dore talks about. It's not just a matter of affirming, I am wealthy, I have an abundance of money in my bank account. It's not just a matter of that. It's really feeling it from deep within your heart. And that will be the focus of our question today of the tarot. So do look at those, consider those books. They're always helpful. And also look at if you can find it, Carole Dore's book, The Emergency Handbook of Getting Money Fast. Although she does have a mini handbook that you can get from her website. CaroleDore.com, I believe, is her website. So what do you need to know to transcend the scarcity consciousness and change your financial future for the positive? Let's What do you need to release? What do we need to embrace? And what actions can we take? Let's see. And I apologize for any glare from my glasses. I don't normally wear glasses. It's because, no, I'm not wearing red eye makeup on my eye. I did develop an eye infection this past week. So you'll have to bear with the glare I can see reflecting off my glasses. The first card, in answer to the question, how can you overcome, transcend the scarcity consciousness and improve your financial picture long term? What do you need to release? We have here the Page of Wands reversed. The Page of Wands reversed. Now, wands relate to that fire, energy, passion, purpose, and pages reflect youthful energy, vibrancy, and vitality, and also presenting a message. And what I see in this card, what jumps out, and given that it's reversed, it has a slightly different meaning from when it's upright. But what comes up to me right now, as far as related to the question of releasing, is, well, when it's upright, the Page of Wands is very intently focused on a particular purpose or passion. And he has this red feather that's jutting out of his, if you can see that, out of his cap. And he's very focused and intent. You just feel that vibrancy. Well, what you need to release, given that this is reverse, is that there's a lack of passion. Maybe there's a lack of purpose in what you're doing, or you haven't been firing up or tapping into your personal passion, your personal fire energy. You need to embrace something that you can really delve into and have a love for, passion for. That tends to open up the floodgates of prosperity. That would be my first take on this. And what I find always interesting about the Page of Wands is that he's out in the desert. There are 3 pyramids, so it's very desolate and barren. Yet he's holding a wand that has growth on it, there are leaves. So he has created something, and he's bringing a message of productivity and of growth to this barren land. But given that it's reversed, saying you need to release feeling hampered or passionless in some way, that maybe you have not been focused on your true passions and purpose. Now, the middle card represents what you need to embrace. And again, this is from a heart level, from feelings. Another, not one of my favorite cards, I'll tell you right off the bat. It's the 10 of Wands reversed. Now, the 10s represent an end of a cycle, and the Wands, again, representing purpose and passion. And what we see here is an individual who is weighed down. And it's interesting because this does not seem like it would be what I would think right off the bat would be something to embrace, except it's saying embrace releasing this sense of burden. People often feel weighed down by their finances, by looking at their checking account, by looking at their credit card statement if it's not the way they like it. And it's saying embrace a release of this. Now, it seems like a non sequitur suggesting that, but that's, to me, this individual is going toward a town, but he's weighed down and he has feeling heaviness, and it's embracing the opposite of that. Looking up at the sky, taking the high road, having a higher perspective on your finances and looking for opportunities, not looking down at the ground. I notice a lot of people, because I take the metro regularly, are often staring at the ground as they walk to wherever they're going, and I find that very interesting and somewhat a pessimistic view toward life. You're supposed to look up for and look around you to be aware of all the opportunities surrounding you. So embrace that attitude of releasing any sense of burden and looking for what really fires you up and what is delightful. And then finally, actions, specific actions to take. And interesting, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and the Pentacles refer to, or the Pentacles are coins as they're also called, refer to resources, finances, cash, time, energy. And what we have in the seven is a number of reflection. And we see in this particular image, this individual is looking at what he's accomplished so far. And then he doesn't look totally pleased, or it looks like he's really trying to reflect and prioritize what's most important to do next. You know, he's planted, he's reaped a harvest, but he needs to really determine and figure out what is the next step. What this suggests to me is that for you viewers, if you have been experiencing financial challenges, the key action to take is look at where you are focusing your energy, your priority, your financial investments. Reflect on that and see if there's something where you can make some changes. And really reflect on that. And it's a time of reflection. In the next 60 days, since I asked, what actions do you need to take in the next 60 days? Look at your financial picture but with a reflective eye. Not in terms of beating yourself up if you haven't done something well or being upset, but embrace the spiritual approach of reviewing what you have and where you are, and especially where you are in consciousness. Now, looking at these, again, we have two reversals, so that's suggesting a lot of inner work or releasing. And then this final card, the card that represents the actions to be taken in the next 60 days, is to reflect carefully. And I would say reflect carefully, and getting in tune with your passion and purpose is vital. Please let me know if this has been helpful to you, and if you'd like to receive other videos on similar topics, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. I also welcome your questions and comments on this video, and please note that I will include a link to a piece of music that will help underscore the message of this reading today. And join me next week in a tarot reading in which we will talk about how you can slay your personal dragons, especially in the business realm. Until next time.